It's early in the morning on Monday, December 1st, here in North Idaho. The clouds are rolling in and snow is in the forecast for later on today. Not a whole lot, but a little bit. The sun is over the horizon, but not a whole lot, just a little bit. At 47 degrees north, the sun does not get very high in the sky, even at midday. But that's not the focus of this post. The focus of this post is to share with you my camper, now over 8 years old. What condition is it in after 8+ years of full-time living? It's 8+ a few weeks, to be honest. So you can see it's prepared for the winter, because here in North Idaho it gets cold, and it's going to get colder as we get through December and into January and probably February. And but if you look at it, if we take a look at the slide out, at the side wall of the slide out, if we take a look at the side wall of the camper, the fiberglass, you don't see any evidence. And this area right here on the front slide is a very common area of any kind of delamination. There is no delamination. In other words, water has not intruded. I did recently, a couple of months ago, hire a tech to go through, and you can see the beading here of where he applied silicone treatment to seal it, and he did that all the way around. I have the bay door open here so you can see the condition of the camper on the inside. If you're ever buying a camper, this is a good thing to look for. See if there's any evidence of wetness or water intrusion on the floor of the storage area. You have, by the way, my solar panels here. I've got my portable generator. It's a dual fuel generator. In my post, which is going to be at rvacrossamerica.net/8 years. In my post, you'll see links to these things, so if you want something similar, you can see what it is that I selected. This is my wet bay. My wet bay is bone dry. I'm using a no-freeze water hose, and that no-freeze water hose is good to about -40. If we look further, the hot water heater is doing just fine. It's the original hot water heater. That's the original furnace right there. That's doing fine. And if we look along the side of the camper, again, looking for any signs of delamination or whatever, there's nothing. I did repaint the vent here so that in the summer it doesn't get overheated. But of course, if I go to an area where I'm worried about that, in the winter, I could paint it black again so that it gets more sunlight absorbed through the black surface. Again, looking at this slide out at the back wall, it looks essentially brand new. The finish is dulled, but that's partially my fault because it's been washed a total of 0 times in 8 years. So probably had I washed it, the finish wouldn't be so dull. So be it. Let's go around to the front. You can see around the kingpin, this is my spare room, and there's access to it through zippers, and that's where my trike and my kayak rest for the winter. Rest comfortably and quietly. I have this bay door open also, so you can see in here, again, bone dry. This is my spare storage area for the winter. That's where my trike sits when I'm traveling. And then I've got my bins for change of clothes. Of course, now I'm on to the winter clothing. Looking further towards the back, you see a few scratches along this side. Along this slide out in particular, that's road rash from trying to get into a campsite recently. It was worth the effort. It was definitely worth the effort. Let's go inside. Okay, welcome to my camper, now in the inside, over 8 years old. Take a look at the condition this camper is in after 8+ years of full-time living. Now, admittedly, I'm not real rough on the camper, but a lot of the quality of the condition of this camper has to do with the way it was built. For example, take a look here on the back wall. Notice the cabinetry up high. Notice that the cabinet on the right-hand side is filled with books. Well, the middle and the left cabinets are the same. There's got to be 100 pounds of books up there. Those books and those cabinets have held up because of the way companies like Outdoors RV particularly install the cabinetry against the frame and then back the frame with wood. So those cabinets are in, even though I've been off-road with this camper and it's been rattled and rolled, the cabinets have not come down. The same thing could be said for the cabinets over the pull-out sofa, and the same thing for the cabinets over the kitchen. We'll talk about those in a minute. Looking back here, again, you have a piece of furniture that I purchased recently within the last couple of years. When the sofa gave out, not sofa, the recliner gave out, the pleather the recliner was made of that's no longer there is now junk. And the recliner that exists there still, that's covered with my blanket, it's in pretty good shape, but when it goes, I'm thinking of replacing it with a moon pod. You have my AeroGardens sitting on top of this piece of furniture, and the other reason I bought it is it does have this cheesy fireplace, but it's also a heater, and it's got some storage on both sides, and that's my air filter that will be connected if I need to. I still have the windows open most of the time because it's not that cold outside. It's only getting into the low to mid 20s at night, and not many nights even at that. This is a piece of custom furniture I had designed. It's got the soft close drawers and cabinets. It has a little breakfast nook area right there that can pull out. I have a post about that was made when it was made, and that's got to be at least 5 years ago at this point, maybe more like 6. This area here is spare storage for on the hard surface. The hard surface is holding up extremely well. The cabinet here still has slide out drawers. I had talked about those in an early post, and they still work beautifully. By the way, I have a post that details this camper when it was brand new, and I'm going to put a link in the post to that so you can go and check it out. And again, the post is rvacrossamerica.net/8 years. And I encourage you to compare the two, because this thing has not changed a whole heck of a lot in 8 years. It has, as far as I can tell, a lot of years left of life in the camper. It doesn't mean I haven't replaced things or repaired things. I detail that in the written post. It does mean, as I pointed out outside, it's got the original hot water heater. It's got the original furnace. Those aren't going to last forever, but for the moment, they're doing just fine. I've got an external thermometer here, which I use to monitor the temperature inside the fridge, just in case the fridge runs into any issues. I do have various steps ready to prep the fridge for colder weather if and when the really cold weather arrives. What you see here is a water filter. That's a water filter that blocks the ability to close this cabinet, which doesn't bother me in the least. If anything, it gives me more direct access to additional cups and bowls and things like that. And this is where I hang things like my garlic sits there, and my spare storage bags for fresh fruit and things like that, and fresh sweet potatoes, so that they can be stored and sit properly. And a little bit of sage higher up for just the effect. Anyway, that's the living area and the kitchen. The only thing showing significant wear is this vinyl wrapping on the drawers for the silverware. You can see that that's seen better days, and that's something that clearly could be addressed by a carpenter. There's no question about it. Speaking of carpenters, the same fellow who did the ceiling outside in the ceiling of the seams outside, and also worked on the roof, a fella named Chris in Casper, Wyoming. I'd gladly recommend him to you if you're going to be in the Casper area. He redid these steps. These steps had been pretty well chewed up because of me going up and down them in shoes and boots and everything else. And he did a beautiful job. They're like new, if not better than new, basically. So those are the steps that Chris did, and that was done back in, I guess it was September, when I had that done. Again, we're on December 1st as we speak right now. So, working into the bedroom, there's another space heater for use as needed. This bedroom is really what attracted me to the Outdoors RV. It is an exceptional bedroom. Unfortunately, this model is not made anymore, but when they did build this model in 2017 and 2018, it's a large bedroom. It has additional cabinetry on the interior here, and then there's another cabinet down below. You have, of course, the end tables with the bed. You've got a queen size bed. I use an air mattress. You have a full width closet. You have the You have the storage down below here, little foot locker storage, and then you've got, of course, a dresser. I should also point out the arched ceiling. The arched ceiling is there because it is not only a nice effect for increasing the size effect of the room, but it's there because it is a heel truss design, which means that the 3 layers of insulation, which are found in the ceiling, above the ceiling and below the roof, those layers of insulation never get pinched at the corners. So at the corners, those layers of insulation do not get pinched by using a dome type approach to the build. As you look around, there's no evidence of any water intrusion. And that's one of the things that I always check for when I'm dealing with one of my clients. There's no evidence of water intrusion here, no water stains, and this camper is 100% dry. And after this last month, boy, am I convinced of that, because in this last month, the it rained like 26 days in November. Anyway, one of the other things that Outdoors RV did, and that was unique to this model, is they made a larger bathroom. It's probably 8 inches to a foot longer than most RV bathrooms. It's beautiful. And that takes away from the living area. Of course, everything is a compromise. But at the same time, this is something that was much more effective for my use. So that's it. rvacrossamerica.net/8 years. And you can get more detail on the post if you'd be kind enough to leave a comment if you're seeing this on YouTube or any other video service. Share it. Give it a thumbs up. Do the same on my site if you're seeing it on my site. Be kind enough to click on the YouTube video, and then that'll bring you to YouTube, and you can do all that stuff on YouTube. You can also leave a comment on my site at the bottom of the post, and I do read all and I respond to all. Thanks much for your time, and hey, stay in touch. Northern Idaho is going to get a lot of snow very soon, and the ski areas will be open, and I will be a happy camper.